That's one issue I would like to discuss during this convention as well. That's something that's a topic that they haven't talking about it. The different organization, one says that they will, I think they will ban boxing for 2 years. There's been hospitals and anything statement about it. And I think the idea is that they found right. Stick to the 1 year. If we ban the boxing for 1 year, whatever it is. I think it's a little bit difficult to do.
The president of the World Boxing Association, Gilberto Mendoza, has decided to suspend Gervonta Davis's boxing license following a controversial incident in the 9th round of his recent fight against Lamont Roach. This move comes after the WBA faced strong criticism for what many saw as double standards. Steve Willis, the judges, and the team handling the technical review have all been accused of unfairly taking away Lamont Roach's chance at his 26th victory.
Cards, judge at the ringside, Eric Marlinsky scores it on 115 to 113 in favor of Gervonta Davis. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both score the bout 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
So, right. But you say you don't think he willing though. Whatever. See, but who cares? Like, sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get in your eye.
Yeah, don't matter.
Spit fuck around and get in your eye. You know what I'm saying? But you, it's not like you can be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on,
Take
ref.
no time out.
You can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight.
The WBA had a chance to improve its reputation and show it wasn't biased, but failed to live up to expectations. Despite the clear favoritism shown toward Gervonta Davis during the fight, the organization refused to change the result after reviewing the situation. This decision sparked strong criticism from both boxing fans and professionals, who didn't hold back in expressing their frustration with the WBA. As a result, the WBA president decided to revoke Gervonta Davis's boxing license and postpone any chance of an immediate rematch. Davis will have to wait at least a year, serving a full suspension for his actions before being allowed to fight again.
There's no studies about it. There's nothing that would tell you which the pro from the amateur, which one is dangerous and which one is not. You know, I look forward to having whatever medical guidance we need to follow. If we ever look in order to protect boxing system. Really concerned in this matter and not jump ahead. So I do believe that the national NBA, a lot of professionals can participate in different other sports.
Originally, the World Boxing Association didn't come to the same conclusion after Gervonta Davis's fight with Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st, where Davis's unbeaten record ended with a majority draw. Fans were furious. The frustration was mainly due to an incident in the 9th round. Out of the blue, Davis took a knee and referee Steve Willis called a no knockdown, even though he had started a standing 10 count. It was later discovered that grease from Davis's hair had gotten into his eyes, making it hard for him to see. This situation impacted the scoring, preventing Roach from being declared the winner. The following week, the New York State Athletic Commission stepped in, revealing that a technical problem had stopped officials from reviewing video replays of the incident.
No, you guys calm down. Listen to me. Hey, come on now. Just trying to get it. There you go. That's what you have to do. There you go.
After receiving a formal letter from Roach's team, the WBA began reviewing the incident, which many believe should have led to the draw being overturned and Roach being declared the winner. However, a now-deleted article on the WBA website tried to justify referee Willis's decision. The article claimed that, from their point of view, Willis's actions weren't unreasonable. It explained that Willis ruled in real time that Davis hadn't been hit by a punch before going down, so he didn't record it as a knockdown.
What you was thinking when Tank did that when he took the knee? What you was thinking when he took the knee?
I can't speak on that.
Can't speak on that?
Yeah.
He did some bullshit though?
I can't speak.
No personal opinion, nothing?
According to regulations, judges must follow the referee's rulings and cannot override decisions on knockdowns. The article also stated that while some critics believe Willis's call unfairly benefited Davis, the WBA disagreed with that view. After this report surfaced, the World Boxing Association faced heavy backlash, which may have led to the article being removed from their website. However, the controversy sparked by the report prompted WBA President Gilberto Mendoza Jr. to issue an official statement regarding the now-deleted article.
And there will be a lot of energy, a lot of things to do, a lot of trying to find plans to do. That's one thing I was regarding the rest, I hope you could enjoy China, and also enjoy China.
In response to the controversy, Mendoza clarified that the opinions shared in the article did not reflect the views of the WBA. He wrote, "He doesn't belong to any committee, nor does he have any influence or opinion on any matter of our association." Meanwhile, Lamont Roach also expressed his frustration on Twitter, saying, "Y'all tweaking if y'all think Buddy was off of some stuff or had an off night. That stuff is just different there with me. I told y'all from the start, just because I, and everybody else too, feel like I won, y'all acting like I said he was easy work or something. The knockdown gives me a UD," referring to how he felt the knockdown should have led to a unanimous decision in his favor.
Oh, and that right, but Davis took off some of the steam of the punch, but still, Roach leaned with right. He took a knee. He took a knee.
You take a knee like that, that looks like a knockdown. All right?
That's a generous call from
Did he not take a knee?
Not take the mouthpiece, took him out. That's right.
After a controversial majority draw between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr., World Boxing Association President Gilberto Mendoza pushed for an immediate rematch. Mendoza believed the situation called for it, stating, "I think there's not going to be any doubt about having a rematch on this." He told the ring, "We need to send a strong message. If the WBA formally orders a fight, Davis and Roach would have 120 days to face off again. Roach, who was the underdog, now has a chance at redemption." Meanwhile, Davis, facing backlash over the incident, has said he's open to a rematch. However, the future of that rematch is uncertain, especially with Davis's license now suspended.
Oh, whoa. It's another comparison I don't want to make to Mike Tyson, but...
Nah, that's crazy. That's what he do. He get dirty. He know that.
It seems the report published on the World Boxing Association's website might have been a mistake or an overly opinionated view that the WBA doesn't officially support. Still, it will be interesting to see how the New York State Athletic Commission rules on the matter. Will Davis face his first career loss, or will his power and influence in sport allow him to avoid consequences? The influence surrounding this fight is significant, especially considering the revenue it generated. According to sources, including Dan Raphael, the fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach drew at least 260,000 buys, with one source estimating the figure at 262,000. This level of profit for those involved raises questions about how much influence could affect the outcome of this controversy.
In this fight in the championship rounds.
Nice right uppercut, left hook. Oh, another right hand, another right, left by Roach. Davis fighting on even terms here in the 11th. Both of them have landed same amount of punches.
Roach still talking to Tank.
And Davis eats the body shot. Another left hook, upstairs right hand, left. Oh, but there's a counter left from Davis.
The decision is a majority draw.
Breaking down the figures further, the event was priced at $79.95, which means it generated about $21 million in pay-per-view revenue across all platforms in the United States. This includes services like Prime Video and PPV.com, as well as traditional linear television pay-per-view. The attendance at the Barclays Center was a record-breaking 19,250, marking the highest crowd in the venue's 13-year history. This large turnout helped push the Davis-Roach fight to the building's second-largest gate, which totaled nearly $7 million, only surpassed by a Rolling Stones concert. With these numbers, the pay-per-view revenue for the Davis-Roach fight ranks as the fourth best in the venue's history. Gervonta "Tank" Davis has headlined 8 major pay-per-view events, But now, with all the controversy surrounding him, the boxing world seems to have come to a halt. As the spotlight shifts to Davis, the scrutiny extends to everyone around him. In situations like this, every move made by the involved parties must be calculated carefully. Unfortunately, the World Boxing Association made a small mistake, and now they're working to handle the fallout. Regardless of what happens next, Lamont Roach is still determined to get the win he believes he deserves.
So obviously the part with the grease in the eye, that took on a life of its own. You know what I'm saying? That was a headline in the fight. One is, what did you think when he said that initially, just like the grease in the eye? But two is like, when you was in the fight, was there any point that you saw that? Like, did you see like him kind of messing with his eye, or did you have any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him.
Nearly 3 weeks after the fight, the boxing world is still buzzing about the WBA lightweight title bout between Gervonta, Tank Davis, and Lamont Roach. The controversy surrounding the fight, including Davis taking a knee in the 9th round and having his face wiped in the corner, both of which were not penalized by referee Steve Willis, has kept the discussion alive. On top of that, the ongoing war of words between Roach and Davis has added extra drama to the situation. Since the fight, Roach has made several appearances on the Big Time podcast, where he continues to argue that he should have been the winner. The conversation about a potential rematch between Gervonta, Tank, Davis, and Lamont Roach remains strong, especially with Roach continuing to push his narrative that he should have been the victor, not the one facing a majority draw. He's been active on social media, keeping the conversation going. On March 18th, Roach posted something that seems to have angered Tank's fan base, likely just as Roach intended to stir up some reactions and keep the spotlight on their rivalry.
And that, like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of landed. He kind of rolled with it, but after that, you can see him wipe his eye. And then, right after I hit him with the jab, you can see him wipe his other eye. So it's like, it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with and exactly which eye. So it's like crazy for him to say, it's grease in my eye. And I think even when he say that, you could see me, because I'm right beside him, you can see me like...
On March 18th, Lamont Roach posted a message on X saying, "On some real stuff, why are some of you mad? A lot of people think I won the fight. I'm confused, gang, what's going on? Did I do something to you guys?" The post quickly went viral, racking up over 215K views and 425 comments in less than 2 days. It seems like a classic move by a fighter trying to stir up interest in a potential rematch by baiting the opponent's fan base. Given the post's high engagement and the fact that the comment section is flooded with Davis' supporters, it's clear Roach's plan is working. Even top boxing coach Teddy Atlas has backed Roach's stance, further adding fuel to the fire. Top boxing coach Teddy Atlas offered a detailed analysis of the fight, focusing on what went wrong in the 9th round. He pointed out that sometimes the safest place, believe it or not, is in the eye of the storm, emphasizing how Lamont Roach handled the pressure. Roach, according to Atlas, wasn't just relying on his size, reach, and ability. He had the nerve and confidence to step into the ring with Tank Davis and not just survive, but actually thrive in spots. As the fight wore on, Roach didn't back down. Instead, he started walking Tank down late in the fight, showing the mental toughness and composure that many fighters lack.
But like, he wiped his face with a towel. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't do none of that. Right. That's a disqualification. You turned your back on the ref after you took a knee.
Legendary coach Teddy Atlas agreed with the widespread opinion that Lamont Roach was robbed of his victory. He mentioned, "I thought it was a close fight, not a huge robbery. There were lots of close rounds. I think Roach deserved to get his hand raised, but I'd have to watch it again." Atlas acknowledged that Tank Davis had an edge in the middle and early rounds with his strong body work and usual style. But Roach really came on strong in the later rounds and may have earned the draw or even taken the title. He pointed out something unique in the 5th round when Davis started tapping Roach and saying, "Hey, bud, good round." Atlas noticed that this was unusual behavior from Tank, who typically carries an attitude of disdain and arrogance, often intimidating his opponents. "We've never seen that before," Atlas said, emphasizing that Tank, the so-called boogeyman of boxing, usually doesn't show such signs of respect. For Atlas, this small gesture was a message, and he was sure Roach noticed it as well, even though no other commentators mentioned it.
He got away with it
But the sport let him get away with it. There's nothing wrong with the fighters. It's the administrators of this sport that there's a lot wrong with. And there is. And you see it. And we shouldn't keep seeing it. It's got to be stopped. A referee, that is not in the rule book. You get hit with a jab. I know there was a second or two in between. Sometimes you see a delay, knockdown, whatever. The punch didn't hurt him. I understand that. But he got hit a jab, and then a second, 2 seconds later, he takes a knee. Guess what? I'm sorry. That constitutes a knockdown.
Teddy Atlas continued his analysis, saying, "If I'm in Roach's corner and they did a great job, I'm pointing that out as soon as he gets back. I'd say, you're getting to this guy. He doesn't do that. He's making a concession, admitting you're getting to him. This is different tonight. You're making him feel vulnerable." Atlas noted that while he didn't know if Roach's corner said this, Roach's growing confidence was clear. As the fight went on, he seemed like a different, bigger fighter. You could see his confidence grow round by round. Atlas said, comparing Roach's transformation to those little sponges you buy for kids, the ones that expand in water. That's what Roach was doing, getting bigger right before our eyes. Atlas pointed out that when Tank touched Roach in the 5th round, it was a clear sign that Davis was giving in some way. Of course, Roach saw it, felt it, and knew what it meant, Atlas said. It meant Tank was giving in a certain way. Atlas explained that in a fight like this, against a dangerous force like Tank, all it takes is a small shift to change the dynamic. I'm not overdoing it, but in a fight like that, all you need is a little something.
After a punch somewhere around there, that's a knockdown. There is, again, we're not in football. There are no fair catches here. You know what I mean? And if it was, to your point last night when I said it, it would be a touchback. You know what I mean? It would, if you took a knee in a certain situation, it would be a touchback. You know, I mean, there are rules for a reason. Unless even Crawford came out.
Teddy Atlas showered Lamont Roach with praise, noting how Roach noticed and capitalized on a subtle shift in Tank Davis. Atlas explained, "Suddenly, Tank showed a crack, and Roach saw it, felt it, and witnessed it. He thought, I'm on the right path. I needed that assurance, that verification. I'm getting to him. Tonight's different." Roach then began backing Davis up, doing exactly what Atlas himself would have been concerned about, applying tight defense behind his jab and landing short, straight punches. Roach started to take control of the fight, effectively becoming the boss in the ring. Atlas also alluded to his long-running feud with Mike Tyson, making a comparison with Davis's behavior. He pointed out that, like Tyson, Davis had the power to intimidate and dominate. But this time, according to Atlas, Davis showed vulnerability, and Roach was quick to take advantage of it. Teddy Atlas drew parallels between Tank Davis and Mike Tyson, saying, "There are many similarities. It happened with Mike Tyson. When you depend on intimidation, I'm not saying Tank did to that degree, but Tyson certainly did. It's part of the mix. And when the other guy doesn't get intimidated, you end up becoming the intimidated one, and the other guy becomes the intimidator. A little bit of that happened here." Ultimately, Atlas praised Lamont Roach for his performance, saying, "Bottom line, Roach fought a hell of a fight and deserves tremendous credit. He went into the lion's den and came out unscathed, backing Tank up. It's a win for him. He didn't get Tank's belt, but he won last night." Atlas emphasized that Roach's stock went up with that performance, and he was excited to see the potential for a rematch.
Crawford, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world, in the top 3 between him, Inoue, and Usyk, right? I got Usyk first. I got him and Inoue right there. I think Usyk deserves to be first after what he's done, putting together the heavyweight title, the whole thing, the whole shebang. But Crawford came out and said, I didn't know that was a rule. I guess I was sleeping when they passed that one. I guess I was taking a nap. Or maybe I was out doing road work. He didn't say that, by the way. I'm just adding that to it. But I must have been busy doing something when that rule. That is not a rule. I said it earlier. This is not the Indianapolis 500. You can't go into pit row. That you need your oil change.